Hey, everybody. Good evening. I thought we'd get started on this bad boy brought to us by the Amateur Iconoclast. And once again, I want to say thank you very much. It is an F-35A Lightning II, the current U.S. Air Force. Well, supposed to do it all. Replace the F-15, the F-16, all that fun stuff. So we're going to take a look at it. Curious to see what is... it's going to be more just looking at it because this is going to be a little more complex. And also, somebody sent it to me, so I really want to make sure I do this right and I do this properly because somebody sent it to me, and I feel that kind of have a burden, the mantle of responsibility, as you may call it, to do it right. So, we got first Meat Candy. Hello. Corn says, got my locals gift today. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. And Kitchen Knife Rescue, what's up, man? Hope you're rescuing those knives. I saw that video you tagged me in. Looks like you did a good job fixing that one, so save the edge on that bad boy. Say, stop the show. You still have 15 minutes left on Alyssa's video? Well, that was good. So we're going to get started in a minute here. Sweet Tooth Fairy saying, we're going to talk about lost stuff. We can if you guys throw a comment or two out there. I can answer stuff as we're going along. And then A-Dub says, this stream will cost billions and take a generation to get functional. The funny thing is, I remember playing a game as a kid. I remember playing a video game called This is back in the MS-DOS days, everybody. But you played a game called Jane's Combat. The people who were big on choreographing and cataloging military vehicles all over the world released computer games. And they released one called Advanced Tactical Fighters. And it was in, what year is it now I'm looking at here? Man, this is back when you had to fire up MS-DOS. What year is this? 1996. And the F-35 was one of the planes you could fly. And I remember as like a 10-year-old playing the game and doing it. So this just shows you how far back in time we're talking about here. But this is back in time where like the F-22 still had the P-toad on it and everything. All the stuff they were working on, but this is how far back you have to go in time when the F-35 and all that had shown up. So yes, trust me, I understand the concept of generation to get functional. Big P Stink says, have I gotten an invite to be monetized? I think I was messing with that a little bit just before I started, and it looks like I'm set at least for a couple of the steps, so I think I'm ready to get going on that. So we'll take, I'm going to start looking at that a little bit more coming up, what I have to do specifically, but I think I'm all set as far as becoming the affiliate. I'm not a partner yet, I don't think. So, but yeah, if you guys have questions, you can throw them out there. Yes, I played around with the ATF. Yes, that's it. Exactly. I was playing with that ATF. Actually, hold on. See if I can get this to come down a little bit further. Oh, no, that's not working. Oh, well. We'll just work with what we got. That's a shame. Says, I think he may have just started streaming too. Who? Who's he? Like Ye, like Kanye? Or Ye as in, well, I'm not sure Ye as in who, but. No, I just thought it'd be fun to take a look at this and, yeah, go from there. But yes, if you guys haven't seen the Alyssa segment, it's fucking hilarious what Kino Casino did last night. I already watched it though, so I watched their thing last night, so that wasn't a problem. So let's get started. No, you don't get to shoot anyone's dogs, although it's funny because in this game, it's 1996 and they played out, you could play like 2 war game scenarios where you're fighting in the Kuril Islands, helping the Japan fight Russia to take them back, or you're in Ukraine in like 2011. So this is like 15 years in the future, and you're fighting the Russians, and like one of the missions was awful. You had to fight the Black Sea Fleet, and this is back in like 1996, so their equipment wasn't as all ghetto yet, and it was really hard. It was like Sam City trying to take them out. Or playing that was really tough. Oh, Kanye. Okay, you're talking about Kanye. Okay. Scrag Nasher says, "Do I ever do games workshop models?" I haven't. It's been a while since I painted miniatures, but yeah, I might be doing that again in the future. Especially, I got my 3D printer. I might print up some models and paint them. And then I wanted to say hello to High Plains Drifter. Hey, how you doing? RP says Turtle Boy got more charges. That's not surprising to me that he got more charges. I mean, at the end of the day, the way he's doing stuff, it's really going to be hard to claim he's doing journalism, I think. I mean, would I still make the argument if I'm his attorney? Heck yes, I am. The problem is you're not acting like a journalist when you're leading mobs of people around. A journalist goes out, asks the questions, confronts people. Yep. A journalist doesn't say, hey, everybody meet me here. We're going to go fuck with people. That's his problem. It just seems that I'm trying not to dead name anybody. Okay, well, that's... Yes. That's pretty good. Charlie, you should be getting your stuff soon, too. What's up? I'm Kino Casino's legal counsel. Not officially, but that'd be great. Have them talk to me. Mr. Sniper says, I did not expect Sean to have the gay flag keyboard. Well, surprise. Came with the computer. So, I didn't build my rig. I bought a rig. What brand keyboard is that? I don't remember. It was like Hermes. I don't know if they call it that in the computer equipment business, or is it Hermes? And then my mouse that I got with them died, so I bought a I don't know what the fuck this is, but it was $25 on Amazon. I got a little bit sturdier of a mouse. Stebby says wrong channel. I'm having some issues getting that. Well, I'm trying to activate it, but YouTube's fighting me, so couldn't get it there. So yeah, Kimbo, you're asking about this. Meat Kenny says, I want to see a Mech Warrior Killdozer mashup. Oh my god, you know what? That is I'm snagging that idea right there. That is brilliant. Doing like a Mech Warrior and do them up like Uncle Marv. Like if Uncle Marv is doing a Mech Warrior. Oh god, that sounds so beautiful. He is going to look like the biggest. It'll look so ghetto, though, with all the steel clapped on it. But that's brilliant. Look at the most ghetto Devastator ever. Kimbo says, I need your home address because what I have for you can only be accepted via a loading dock. Kimbo, you have my email. If you really do have something for that, email me and we'll talk. What color will I paint this? I'm going to paint it just the normal gray color. Like I like to try to do, this is going to be like my first jet plane I've done in probably like 25 years. So it's been a long time since I've done modeling for a real plane. We're going to do this one right. Viper says, am I an Ace Combat fan? Yes. Yes. I mean, if I could paint this like the Stricken team, I think Ace Combat, God, which one is that? The Fires of Liberation. I just think the Stricken team is the coolest on that. I think they're the coolest bad guys, at least. And I like the airborne carrier concept. It also helps our flying flankers, and the super flankers are pretty neat. That's 6? Okay. Yes. I also like that part because it's got the big rail gun in it. Then the girl's like, be careful. Like, they're getting ready to go fight. She's like, be careful, everyone. Okay, so what do we got? Well, we got the check the parts list. I guess we'll do this here since I'll lean in, and I need more light down here. That's a little selfish of me not to do it that way. Turn the ring light around because you guys don't need it. Multiple things saying, hey, don't be a dumb fuck. Well, I already checked these before I unsealed them. So I did that last night because I couldn't wait. If you guys can't hear me well, let me know, but I'm not putting these in front of my face. Are all these kits Chinese? No, it's not a Chinese kit. We got some instructions. Let's see what these bad boys look like. Not too bad. Not too bad. We'll take a look at those a little bit more in a minute. Then what do we got? Lower fuselage. We got the Ooh, this came loose. I hope that's not bad. The white parts. The backbone of it all. The white parts. We got some black parts. Strong, proud parts that they are. We got some off gray parts. And then we've got the upper fuselage assembly, and it looks like some of the bay doors. Okay. Then we got a canopy. And this actually looks, well, Big Peacenik saying the F-35 was public all the way back in the mid-90s. The first, when I was a little kid, I built a lot of snap-together models. The first real model I had was from my grandfather. My grandfather was a pilot. He was a fighter pilot in the Navy, then flew for United. He was a big pilot, loved planes. He bought me an F-22 model, and it was like 1995. I think I turned 10. He bought it for me. Actually, no, it was 94, because I still... Yeah, because I was living somewhere else. It was 1994, and the F-22, they were making models for it back then. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, the F-22 and the F-35 have been known for ages in aviation circles. What this is, oh yeah, use our tools, hurrah. And then painting and decal placement. All right. And then this actually is pretty spiffy. I'm impressed by this. The amount of decals available is pretty freaking good. I think those are pretty high quality. There is no photo etch in here, though. So, oh well. Stebby says, when can we do a gun building stream? We'll work on that. We have to be on Rumble, but yeah, we'll figure something out. And then says I'm missing the JDAM. Yes. I'm missing. No, the JDAM's already been expended on a bus full of blind Afghan orphans who we thought were in Al Qaeda. So that's where the JDAM went. Does the missus know I'm touching Fat Amy? Yes. Yes. Am I going to send this to Zelensky? Yes. Yes, I'm as long as I get traded for some premium cocaine. You know, Vladimir was like, I give you cocaine for your F-35. I'm like, deal. Patty says, the Mark 23. So let's get started. And we'll fire up Kino Casino in a second. Is the Mark 23 a meme gun for the 90s boomers, or is it based? It's a meme gun. Have you ever held one of those things? I mean, look at these hands, and you could say, oh, wow, he's got some fat sausage fingers. Sure, I do. But I don't have, I mean, my hands cannot grasp this is me holding a magazine. So it's not, I don't have little hands. But the Mark 23, I've held one of those before. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Those things are huge. Especially when you put a can on it. No, if you want the thing in a manageable platform, you get a USP 45 tactical. It's the exact same thing. So that's how I would look at it. But yeah, if we're gonna do something here, let's get Alyssa going because let's watch. I might as well watch it again. Nothing wrong with that. Apparently, I wonder if they're talking. Was this the one where they mention? Well, we'll. Well, actually, hold on. Is Ralph on tonight? Watch him kill stream. That would actually be kind of funny. Ralph's on. Let's see what the fuck he's talking about. Camelot's on, but I'm not watching him. My life is about to change. On what regard? No, Ralph is not on, so never mind. Say Trump is immune at this point. I've thought about it more and more and more, and I'd like to think SCOTUS is going to come in and save the day, but I'm still not holding my breath. I mean, I was doom pilled at the start, but I'm getting better. So, yeah. Amateur Iconoclast, howdy. Yes, this is all you. So thank you. Gary Pace says, how about a B-52 stream? I did a B-52 when I was in like junior high. That is a lot of airplane to glue together. That is a lot to do. So that's a bit much. I don't know if you've ever actually played with a B-52 model, even the small ones. I mean, even a 172nd B-52 is freaking massive. So, you guys are doom pilled on SCOTUS. So here's the deal. It's going to be either like a 7-2 in favor. I mean, it's going to be one of those deals. It's either going to be a clear defeat or a clear victory. And if it's a clear victory, oh my God, you're going to see people losing their minds because I bet you end up with like Kagan and Sotomayor agreeing like, yeah, this is actually how it has to go. I see Roberts just being a cuck though. So, all right, let's listen to, let's see. You guys want to listen to Kino Casino? We can play it. Why not? I'm not sure what else, unless you guys want to listen to Alexander Mercouris from the Duran. I haven't listened to him today. Actually, you know what? Yeah, here, I'll make that a thing. Who are we going to listen to? Where's my thing? Why won't it come up? This is ridiculous. Live TV, everybody. This is what happens. All righty then. We're going to do a poll. So you guys love polls. I know you do. So you guys are about our polls. Okay. So let's see here. Perform a poll. Start a poll. If you guys aren't aware of who the Duran is, Robert Barnes talks about a lot. They talk about a lot of things going on in politics in Europe and international relations things. A lot about what's going on in Ukraine right now. So, X saying Ethan Ralph cheated on Pantsu with Mexican strippers. I mean, did that really seem like that was not the case? I mean, who would have thought that wasn't going to happen? Oh, and Shragnasher says, decal application. I was good at that back in the day as a kid. Ooh, you got to have like a steady hand for that. I had the steadiest hand for that stuff. I was great at putting those on. Now, once I got old, like, since I've been older and I've learned about things like decal softener and all that, that would have been made my job so much easier, but I learned how to do it really well. So yes, eventually, especially for this bad boy, we are going to. So let's see what you guys are voting. Why no Fish Tank Live? I don't know if I'm allowed. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. And I'm not subscribed right now, but I didn't know Fish Tank had started season 2 yet. So you were censored on YouTube. Your last comment, 7-Eleven. You've not been denied. I see that comment. Yeah. I've been cucked to the crowd. Jeez. Oh. Poll is blank on the mobile. Okay. People want to watch Kino Casino. All right, we're going to do a Kino Casino as well then. All right. I guess I'll listen to Mitch, how do I do transfers? Well, with models, you get you put it in the water, you get it wet, and then you slowly start kind of pushing it to the edge. And once you can get it to the edge, you can grab it with some tweezers and you get it off and right onto where you're going. And what I do is have a wet Q-tip, a wetted down Q-tip already to help position it, because at that point you're going to need help. And you can't be afraid to get water everywhere. Yeah, you got to get it wet. It's too late. I'm a Destiny Orbiter now. All right. We're doing Kino Casino, courtesy of the wonderful Alyssa. All right, let's go. Also, why is the poll blank on mobile? I don't get that. But also, one of these days, you guys will want to be cultured and listen to Mercurius and the Duran. Yeah. All right. Oh, hold on. I got to get this full screen. All right, here we go, guys.
This is crazy.
No, Recada's talking about how he's wearing lingerie.
And try to
he's
convince
talking
us
about how he's a male cheerleader in college and high school, and how he used to throw underwear parties with the other male cheerleaders.
In
and
lingerie.
he'd have his wife around other male cheerleaders in lingerie. And he's trying to tell people that if they laugh at this, they're evil.
He's sad about me.
He's upset. He's like, Worski, it's out of pocket. It's not right. It's like, what?
Oh, Andy was an idiot during aim.
But even if fucking Rekieta resurrected your career during that time and you owed him everything or whatever, even if his distorted version was true,
yeah,
it's like, oh, sire, shove the bottle up your ass, sire. I shall follow you to the gates of the Baldo, sire. Put on the Baldo. I shall never laugh at you, sire. Telling me you wear women's lingerie, sire. The king and the emperor has such fantastic clothes.
Yes.
Like you're just owed like a lifetime of loyalty to him.
Yeah.
Because he was nice
Mr.
to you.
Rekieta.
Oh, sire.
Please.
You're so sexy, sire, putting the bottle up your ass.
You were nice to me one time.
What an incredible decision.
I shall be in your debt forever, sir.
Like, what
Rekieta
is?
Like, fuck off.
Some fucking delusional shit in his mind.
Can you believe it? Worski's laughing at me when he did aim.
Holy shit, I didn't hear all this part of it. I guess I only heard the end of it, it turns out. Just scanning ahead. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I did not hear this whole thing. So yeah, this is all new to me.
Aim. If the guy who did aim's laughing at you,
holy shit.
You fucking fail.
Let's go, Phil. He did during aim was to say, oh, they're not going to go to jail because stand your ground laws are really strong in Florida.
2 years later.
That's it.
Wow.
Then he did a pre-recorded segment on the Fuck Ralph Festival.
All right, we're just going to skip ahead to like where they start to talk the segment. I'll give them a couple minutes to see where this goes.
By the way, we want to give a big shout out to Alyssa Clips.
Okay, get to the part. Like, let's get to this. I want to hear. Like, let's
thing, right? It's like you can't make fun of that.
Yeah.
It's like what are we to do? Sire, let me shit.
All right, let's just get God damn, these guys take forever. Enough with the frickin' preamble.
So he starts off right here. Let's start right from the beginning.
All right, guys, check this out.
These guys are sitting here and and by the way, after this conversation, there's a clip of them just shitting on Rekieta.
No way.
And they were like his friends in LawTube for years. And they can't even believe the shit he's telling them.
Wow. So we got Ivan and Matt Funbusters. Wait, do I know Funbusters?
He confirmed. Also, Nick only wears thongs to protect from zippers.
I mean,
also make an observation.
I've already listened to Fudbusters this week, so we can't listen to This Week in Guns again. But if there's something else you guys want to listen to, let me know. We'll figure something out.
Here, doesn't his nose always sound so stuffed? Is he railing the lines?
I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
You would know worse.
He naturally has a nose like
guys,
that.
How are we talking about the
Also, tell me if you guys cannot hear me well
now that I said it, you're gonna be like, fuck.
Get ready for what he's about to say. It's just crazy.
I don't think.
It's a long story, guys. Here's the short story.
Do you hear it?
Yes. I bought Lady Rackets all of the lingerie on the planet because lingerie on women is great. But when we ran out of lingerie to buy, she's like, I'll buy you mangerie.
Pause.
Wait. Hang on. Ashton, you described this clip earlier to me that he wore this in high school or whatever. Not this
No. It's crazy, bro. Like,
you want to know what my opinion of the whole Mandy thing is? It is weird to high heaven. It's something's not right. Things don't add up. It's all, but that's Nick's, not my circus, not my monkeys. That's his to deal with. But yeah, something just doesn't add up. Things don't sound right. What I can tell you is I'm willing to bet that entire rabbit hole goes very deep, and it's probably going to go to somewhere nobody's counting on or assuming or planning for. I have my own thoughts, but I won't share those because those are completely unconfirmed and complete conjecture, like Leonard Nimoy's show In Search of Conjecture, like levels. So I'm not going to talk about it, but yeah, something's up. And if I happen to be right, I'll tell you because I've already filled in 2.0. So Mrs. 2.0 knows all about it. So she'll call me out if I'm lying. So Patty says, what's the Mandy lore? I would really recommend you go back to the farms because they actually have a whole dedicated entry to this right now. Alex Jones's take on Mandy would be part of the globalist infrastructure. So, but let's get going here because I have not seen this part. I guess in reality, I think I've missed like the whole first hour of this then.
Like, there's another clip where he's talking about underwear parties with the male cheerleaders on
I
the
thought
squad.
this was like an old story.
No. So he still currently wears this.
What the fuck?
So mind you, by the way, he's apparently bought all the lingerie in the world for Lady Rackets, which, first of all, simpler. He's simping for his wife. Simpler. But, that's not true. He didn't buy all the lingerie at Victoria's Secret, Nick. They come out with new ones all the time.
Yeah.
His excuse is he's bought all the lingerie possible for his wife. So when you do that, even if you did do that, the next step is apparently to buy lingerie for yourself.
One.
To put on fishnet stockings and fucking...
Is lingerie a different type of... I'm not a fag. So can you explain this to me, Ashton? I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Worski accidentally reported.
Explain it to me, faggot.
Sorry.
Yes, sire. I shall explain the faggotry of the lingerie to you, my
I
liege.
just meant you watched the clip. That's what I meant.
No, so it's
That's not what he
let's
means.
play it.
Come on, Worski. You know that's not what you mean.
Sorry.
And she
I meant you watched the clip. Fuck. Sorry. Dude.
bought me lingerie with a zipper.
Wait, hold on.
The
I gotta
zipper.
interrupt you. I gotta interview Ivan.
The guy has a gun. He's so disgusted with Ricada. He like wants to kill Ricada with the gun, or he's like just wants to put the gun in his own mouth and end it all.
He has one bullet in there. He fucking spins the fucking chamber. Is it a fucking revolver?
I think so.
Yeah.
Can you find out who asked?
Who asked? He goes, "Can you tell me who asked?"
Oh, I didn't see this part. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Are you allowed to hold a gun and go like this?
Just to brandish a firearm, no, willy-nilly.
I don't know the
here.
rules on
Who
YouTube.
asked about you wearing lingerie, pal?
That's Tito. Who's this Matt guy? He rules.
Well, you'll see. They fucking press him
Matt,
in the later
Who
clip.
asked?
Matt would fucking give these guys a run.
I gotta interrupt you. I gotta interview Ivan.
Yeah.
Can you find out who asked?
I will go ahead and do some research here in the article.
Who asked what?
So there's ask what? I
What?
don't know
Oh my
that you
God.
wear fucking lingerie. The craziest thing.
I'm sorry, sire, for making fun of you wearing lingerie, sire. Please, sire, forgive us. We're just meager peasants here, sire. You're a king of the interwebs, and we cannot mock you, sire. Please,
Yeah, that's-
please, you covered the Johnny Depp trial, my liege. We can't make fun of you putting on women's undergarments and getting your penis stuck in the zipper.
Can you believe
Forgive
those
us,
two
me
guys
lord.
Who makes fun
My
of me all
lord,
the
forgive
time?
us, have mercy upon us, me lord.
It's
Like,
them.
what the fuck are we
Guys,
supposed
it's
to
them,
do?
it's them.
Can you believe that these guys are making fun of me?
Everyone's like, yeah,
Like, yeah,
Well,
You guys
yeah,
make
like,
Ivan,
it's
he's
pretty
fucking
fucking
hilarious. So is
retarded.
Matt.
You're wearing
Fucking
women's
nuts.
clothes,
They're great.
you psycho.
Nobody fucking asked.
No, nobody asked about the lingerie.
Anyway, so Lady
Salty.
Rackets.
No, he keeps telling his story.
Nobody
They
fucking asked.
clearly don't
Nobody
want him to tell the story.
Oh,
Nobody fucking asked
Wait.
for this.
So it's like he goes, it's like me being like, oh, hey. And I make up a random name in our chat and I go, you asked about my workout sesh today. Let me tell you. And then everyone's like, wait, no one's asking. Worski,
yeah.
you fucking nut.
About the lingerie.
Well, I mean, guys, I don't know what else you guys want to listen to because it's going to be a lot of me working on this as we talk about things. So, I mean, I'm willing to talk, but if we want something in the background, we need something in the background. So, yes, I don't recommend you listen to PPP talking while you're driving a car because you might want to throw it in oncoming traffic every once in a while. So what's these guys do with rackets? Stormcrow, they kind of report on all the kind of people, the lol cows that are going on out there. So that's kind of more their thing. So like they talk about Ethan Ralph if he's being goofy or whoever it is. Well, let's say I did something to get their attention. They talk about me. Any number of people and any number of things. And the camera is shifting out of the way, so I can't. Let's listen to Industrial Society and its future audiobook. That one actually, he called me the George R.R. Martin at home. Coming from him, that's pretty freaking rich. I mean, of all the people, PPP. Just saying. Just saying. That's pretty funny. Did they refer to me? They did refer to me as George R.R. Martin. That's, well, okay. Let's try that now. There we go. That might actually work a little better. Mandy's thread is in Nick's thread. When's the book coming out? No, stop. I'm not working on the book. Joke's on you. These guys are super lolcows. Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, really, at the end of the day, man. It's like it's like Full Metal Jacket. It's the Jungian thing, sir. The what? If this was Full Metal Jacket, he's like, "What's that on your jacket? You have a felted pin on your flak jacket, but you also have top tier lolcal on your helmet. Is that some sort of sick joke?" Yeah. You think I'm slimmer than PPP? He's taller than me, I'm pretty sure. So it might not be him being slimmer. So let's see here. I mean, if there's other stuff you guys want me to listen to, we can talk about it, but I'm not sure. Okay, this is who we are. This is page 2731 on the farms. Okay. Yes, the sector. Did I eat more than PPP? Maybe, I don't know. Oh. Yes, you either die a hero or become the lol cow. So, yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. So, all right. So I don't know, guys. I don't know what you want to listen to or talk about because that's kind of running out of ideas. I'm just trying to work. I'm trying to come up with a plan. Here, I'm just trying. I'm just a poor boy, just trying real hard. So, play the Duran and let these girls, because these girls don't like gossip content. Yeah. Tell us about court this week. Court was kind of there's things I can't talk. I had actually had children's services cases, so that I was the ones I got appointed to. A couple of them were pretty bad. I don't really want to talk about those. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna do well, actually, yeah, we'll do Mercurus. We'll do our boy the Duran. See if he's here. So
Good day. Over the last few hours,
if you guys haven't, him and Alex Christoforou are the Duran. They're a very good job. I know people are like, oh my god, they work for WASA. Well, they're more trustworthy than anything else I could find right now on the internet. So we're gonna listen to them. We'll try this for tonight. So we'll give this a little bit of a listen.
Since my last video, President Putin continues his intense burst of public activity.
Yes, he has been.
Even as we approach the end of the year. And of course, all of this is being done by President Putin very much with an eye to the election campaign, which is due to begin in March. He's, for example, addressed
and Putin is running
address to security on a security agency Workers' Day, which is actually today. This commemorates the anniversary of the establishment by Vladimir Lenin and Felix Dzerzhinsky.
Yeah, Felix Dzerzhinsky,
the
Cheka
Extraordinary Commission to combat counter-revolution and sabotage, which was set up by the Bolshevik authorities, the Soviet authorities, shortly after the revolution, in order to consolidate their control of Russia in conditions of revolution and civil war. And of course, that extraordinary commission evolved through various name changes into the various internal security organizations.
They start singing Rio
in Russian history, in Soviet history, and post-Soviet history, with which we are now currently familiar. The KGB and the FSB, and by the way, also the SVR, the Foreign Intelligence Agency.
Wait, where the fuck does this go?
So Putin gave an address to the workers in these agencies on their holidays, and he's also met with winners, a group of winners
Oh, yes.
and mentors of professionals.
This guy puts
national
2.0 to
championship
sleep.
of professional excellence, and
Felted.
he's also
Yeah,
given
felt.
decorations.
Yes, Ukraine's getting felted very
Who
hard.
have been fighting on the battlefronts. So we can see that he's now very heavily involved in what might be called election activity, even as he continues
Talk
to
about
govern and
J Hatchet juror number 1. I don't know. They took care of Maya, and now Maya's taking care of their ass in the lawsuit. Like, that's all I know. Like, the whole thing there, just I haven't really followed it. It's, John Hopkins better break out their checkbook. If they were smart, they would do that now, because the interest is going to be running on them so bad. So that's what I would do if I was Johns Hopkins. Like, oh my God, one of the jurors wrote something like a Nazi. Oh no. Her S has got a little lightning bolt flare to them. Why can't that just be based? Or why can't that just be non-intentional? Why does it have to matter? Because what's she going to say? She's like, that attorney, he seemed like a Jew. I'm not going to vote for him. Like, what do they think that matters? That's a completely irrelevant accusation of whether or not she was fair and impartial. I mean, really. Oh, there we go. That lines up. I know Victoria's Secret. And girl, you wouldn't believe. Oh, all right. All right, we gotta pop this bitch out. Time for some gluey. Actually. All right, we're ready for some glue. Okay. You guys thought Alex was Greek? Taking their ass all the way to the bank, yes. Stormcrow, yes, thank you for this interesting tidbit. Yes. Did you guys know that Alex and Alexander are Greek descent? You can tell by their name, Alex. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna listen to him for a bit. I'll speed it up just a hair to help you guys out. Let's see if YouTube's gonna shit on me for this or not. Apparently, just as if I go on dashboard, it'll warn me.
administer the country. But the Kremlin, importantly, has now provided us with a complete transcript of his comments to the Defense Ministry's board, or Collegium of the Ministry of Defense, as it is sometimes still referred to in Russia. And interestingly, there we have a complete transcript of the comments that President Putin made on the occasion of the meeting of the Defense Ministry Board. We have not yet had a complete transcript published by the Russian Defense Ministry, at least not in English so far, of Defense Minister Shoigu's statement to the Defense Ministry Board. And the enigma, therefore, of what he exactly meant when he talked about, or at least when the Russian Defense Ministry's channel
of Pepsi Man, I don't know too much about the Skull
artillery ammunition, production
really
of artillery ammunition had increased 17-fold. Anyway, we still not got the actual formal, official, published, translated version of his words on the Defense Ministry website. And on that topic, about which a lot of people have
Patty, I
commented
don't think
over
they're
the last
Jews.
couple of hours, which I discussed extensively in my program yesterday, I actually, after making that program, did a check of what Shoigu had been saying on the similar topics in previous meetings of the Defense Ministry Board. And I saw that in November, at the end of November, at another meeting of the Defense Ministry Board, Shoigu said that production of artillery ammunition had increased fivefold since the start of the special military operation. Now, that is an extremely impressive increase indeed, and it would mean, if we take the Jamestown Foundation's estimate that before the war, Russia was producing 1 million shells a year. If we take what Shoigu said in November at face value, that would mean that Russia is now actually producing around 5 million shells. That was, of course, in November. Now we've had this further statement that production has actually increased 17.5-fold. I'm starting to wonder whether perhaps there was a mistake, and whether when we do finally get the Defense Ministry's official transcript, we will find that there's a corrected number and that the scale of increase has been adjusted downwards. I have no doubt that there's been a very substantial increase in ammunition production indeed, but a 17.5-fold increase
That's a
seems
lot.
astonishing. 17
That
and
would
a half
be
million shells a day. I have
that's
to
resource
say,
hacking right
seems,
there. So
I
don't trust the Russians to hack that well.
completely
So they
astonishing.
got their
to me.
hacks on.
Whereas 5 million shells a year, I would have thought would be a fully realistic number for a country like Russia. Anyway,
Okay, so
we'll no doubt get a proper explanation fairly soon. But in the meantime, I want to turn again to President Putin's words at the Defense Ministry Board.
Okay.
Now, he did provide some
The
sketchy, very sketchy information about production increases. He spoke lavishly about the achievements of the Defense Ministry enterprises, the defense enterprises in Russia.
Harbor Warble
spoke
Sniper in
about
the
the
West
fact
won
that the
152 millimeter. Yes, the Ukrainians need it because they don't have, well, they have a lot of 155 millimeter NATO cannons. Most of their equipment and most of the Ukrainian army still runs Soviet bloc gear. So they're running T-72s, BMPs. They're running 152 cannons, 122 cannons. That's still kind of how they roll. So yes, they need it. Now anybody else? I think some of the other NATO countries may still have some left over, but no, predominantly it's Ukraine that needs the 152 right now. So and that's the funny thing. Even if you make a gajillion 155 rounds, they don't have enough cannons for them. It's for them the 152 is what they really need, and there's not a ton of that either. So, how does this go on there? Okay, so let's see. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Well, yeah, they have T-64s as well. Well, not too many T-64s. A lot of those may be gone by now. The reason you're mad at Lyra is because he and the guys like Duran are basically Russian fanboys, and that's sure. They can be Russian fanboys, and I don't think that they would deny that. I'm mad at Gonzalo Lyra because he's a dumb fuck and didn't leave when he had the chance way back when. But hey, apparently he wanted to show the Ukrainians what real cringe is like, and by God, he showed them what real cringe can do. So, all right. So we are this situation here. Like, yeah. Wait, how does this fit? That seems that seems a little jank. Jank Uger. Really like that? That seems kind of chintzy. Oh, I see where it sits on these rims. Okay. Matt, the coach, he's hilariously retarded. Well, I mean, yeah, but he's still awful. So, Scott Ritter thinks Lyra's Ukrainian intelligence. Scott Ritter also thinks that 12-year-olds can consent. So, I'd be careful what the fuck Scott Ritter thinks. I'm just saying. Scott Ritter thinks a lot of things. So let's see here. Where's this sitting? Where's this setting up? Hold on, guys. Need a minute to actually think here. You know, we're just going to give it a couple of dollops of the real stuff. Then we go on the side. So we just go boop. And we sit there. He was set up. We set up twice, though. I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't think he was set up. I mean, setting up twice. That's the issue there. That's my problem. So you can get set up once, sure. You know, but if you get set up twice, you know, it's not like they really needed to set you up. Just that's kind of how I look at it. Okay. I have to cut those little strands. Let's see here. Oh, Jesus Christ. People are asking Kino Casino to cover Nick yelling at me. Oh, well, let's just keep going for a bit.
Hold the initiative on every part of the front line, which is completely true, by the way. He spoke with optimism. He also engaged in a very lengthy, rather bitter commentary about Russia's relations with the West, about its record of duplicity, and specifically the West's record of duplicity with respect to Ukraine. He said that the Russians had gone out of their way to build good relations with Ukraine after the Soviet Union had collapsed. They provided them for a long time with natural gas, as he said, almost for nothing, certainly at very low prices. He said that they supported the Ukrainian economy in all kinds of different ways, that they made a major effort to maintain good and friendly relations with Ukraine, and that they had no territorial claims on Ukraine at all. But Putin went on to say that, aided and abetted by some Ukrainian leaders and working on extreme nationalist groups within Ukraine, whose point of origin, Putin essentially said, was North America, Canada, and the United States, where he said a lot of people who had participated in extreme nationalist groupings that had fought the Soviet Union alongside Germany in the Second World War, that they'd escaped to Canada.
Yeah, there's
and the
that
United
issue
States.
with Ukraine.
Anyway, working with all of these people, but also heavily funding political groups, media outlets, and that kind of thing. The West, nonetheless, steadily, year by year, managed to win over more and more people in Ukraine over to its side, giving Ukraine essentially false promises of economic prosperity and affluence if Ukraine were to align itself with the West.
Yes, just join Global
And
Homo,
Putin talked about how
and we'll
this was
let you
a
in.
major betrayal of Russia's own reach out to the West at the time of the end of the Cold War. He spoke bitterly once more about NATO's eastward expansion, made in violation of the promises given to the Soviet and Russian leaderships at the end of the Cold War. He also said that despite all this enormous Western effort to win over people in Ukraine, they were never fully successful, that people in the Russian regions continued to vote for parties that wanted good relations with Russia, and that the West absolutely committed to its project of eventually bringing Ukraine into NATO, therefore decided to support a coup to overthrow the constitutionally elected authorities and to resolve the question of Ukraine's realignment with the West once and for all. And he also spoke about his own frustration and disillusionment with Western leaders, how they would always come to him and give him promises that the West did not intend that Ukraine would join NATO anytime soon. And then he'd come back and say to them, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean about soon? Do you mean not soon? Do you mean
Since I got a balance hanging out in chat.
next
See you,
year?
Justin. Have a
Do you
good
mean
one.
the year after that?
So
He said to them that he said to them that in 10, 15 years' time, as far as Russia was concerned, NATO membership for Ukraine would still be unacceptable. But Western governments, Western officials never showed any willingness to basically respond to this. And he also spoke bitterly about the Minsk agreement, about how the Russians participated in the negotiations that led to the Minsk agreement in February 2015.
oh shit,
in
did I
good
miss the
faith,
spot?
but the Western powers
make
and the
holes.
Ukrainians never
Fuck.
did. And he mentions how Merkel and
Uh-oh.
Hollande and Poroshenko have all but admitted, in the case
Oh wait,
of
no,
the
I
first
didn't
two,
miss.
and emphatically admitted on the part of
Oh, I just don't make
Poroshenko,
those holes. All
that
right,
the
where's my drill?
Minsk agreements were simply a device to buy Ukraine time so that it could rearm and settle the situation in Donbass by force. And he said that the Russians,
Yeah, I have some thin cement
with
glue.
extreme reluctance, were
I-
left
extra thin,
ultimately
it's a
with
little
no
runny.
choice but to intervene militarily
No,
in
it's not a
Ukraine
whoopsie.
with the
Not
start
a
of a
whoopsie if
special
I could still
military
do it.
operation in the way that he has discussed many times in the past. So a lot of that in Putin's speech. Nothing there that has not been said by Putin to a certain extent or to a great extent before. The one thing that I would say, the difference for me, was the bitterness and anger of Putin's tone.
Well,
The strong impression that he gives right through his speech that he was deceived by the Western leaders that he met, that all of these Western leaders that he met over many years were basically lying to him, and that he chose repeatedly, possibly
Well.
against the advice of others, to take these lies at face value, to believe that the people who were speaking to him were speaking
well, yes,
honestly
he believed Globo
and
Homo. That was his
truthfully.
first mistake.
And though he
I
doesn't
told
mention
that.
her, I can't help but think that a particular focus of grievance on Putin's part is Angela Merkel, with whom he had a very long relationship, a political partnership almost. He used to send her gifts. He used to receive her with flowers.
You send her gifts, like
accepted
cat gifts?
crates of beer that she was sending to him. He always, I think, assumed that he built a strong and stable relationship with her. And I think he is now deeply disillusioned with Merkel, that he's very self-critical at the way in which I think he feels that he was personally tricked by her. And frankly, I think that this has now severely affected his perspective on relations with the West. He also spoke, by the way, on that topic about the fact that the United States has successfully managed, whatever else happens over the course of this conflict, to destroy the relationship between Russia and Europe. He clearly doesn't expect that to revive at any
Europe
point
did that
in
on
the
their
future.
own. They didn't need
And
America to
he
help them
also
out.
said, very interestingly, that he didn't see any real political leadership in the West that he could have a constructive dialogue with.
Well, that's fair.
And
There is
he
no
explained
leadership
to some
in the West
extent
you
how
can
this has been
trust.
achieved. He spoke about the penetration of all media
Yeah,
outlets
that
in the West,
penetration.
in Europe at least,
Mm.
by American interests, financial interests. He said that if you drill down and look for who owns any particular European publication or media group,
Gonna
you
be
will
American.
eventually always come to an American foundation of some sort at its core. That is an exaggeration, by the way, and it is
A
not
little bit.
true of every country. I
Well,
believe in Italy, for example.
not necessarily 100% true, but 85% true is pretty close. Stormcrow says, were they porking? No, but they had a good relationship. So, also, if you guys can't hear me, let me know, because I'm trying to make sure I keep commenting so YouTube doesn't shit itself. Although I have the feeling the way YouTube acts half the time when it comes to these guys. They probably don't give a shit that anybody's watching them. So let's keep going.
The media, a lot of the media still remains in Italian ownership. But of course, there is enough truth to it to make it a convincing, to make it a convincing case, or at least so Putin would say. Anyway, there we go. I have to say that listening or reading these comments of Putin, I have to also say that I think any idea of this conflict ending in a negotiated way is, frankly, going to be a very, very difficult sell for him. He's clearly so angry and so embittered at the way in which he feels that not just he, but the Russians generally have been treated, going all the way back to the end of the Cold War. He has such an overwhelmingly strong sense of grievance about this now, and not without cause, it must be said.
Well, to an
that
extent,
persuading him
you'll
to
lose.
begin
That's
a
what fucking
negotiation
happens.
now,
People will shit on you.
especially given that
There we
he's
go.
winning the war, is going to be an extremely difficult thing indeed. Anyway, that's what Putin had to say about all of these big matters. The part of Putin's speech to the Defense Ministry Board, which appears to be attracting the greatest amount of attention in the West at the moment, are certain comments he made, which some people construe as a hint that at the end of the war, he's prepared to allow Romania, Hungary, and Poland to take possession of regions in Western Ukraine, which before the Second World War belonged to them. Now, I'm going to read what the Kremlin's website about these, what the Kremlin website's actual translation of these words. I'm going to actually read it. And I'm going to suggest that perhaps his words here are being somewhat overinterpreted. Here's what he said, and I'm taking this from the Kremlin's website. Here is what I would like to say in closing.
How do you overinterpret them? Either
only
he said them or he
guarantor
didn't say them.
of Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. I
just
mentioned this earlier. When creating the Soviet Union, Russia transferred to it vast historical territories, Russian territories, along with a population, a huge potential, and invested immense resources into this land. The western lands of Ukraine, we know how Ukraine obtained them. Stalin gave them to Ukraine after World War II. He gave parts of Polish lands, Lvov, and so on, including several large regions with a population of 10 million. Not to offend the Poles, he compensated for Poland's losses by giving the Poles the Eastern German lands, the Danzig corridor and Danzig itself. And by the way, an awful lot more than just Danzig.
Holes
He took some from Romania,
up here,
some from Hungary,
and down here,
and gave it to Ukraine.
Right in the middle.
The people who live there, many of them, at least I know this for sure, 100%, they want to return to their historical homeland. The countries that lost these territories, primarily Poland, dream of having them back.
C-20
in this sense, only Russia could be the guarantor of Ukraine's territorial integrity. If they do not want it, so be it. History will put everything in its place. We will not interfere, but we will not give up what is ours.
It sounds like
everyone should be aware of this. Jesus. Those in Ukraine who are aggressive disposed towards Russia, and in Europe and in the United States. If they want to negotiate, let them do so. But we will do it only based on our interests. Now, it must be said, these words could be interpreted. One possible interpretation of these words is the one that the West, some people in the West are giving to them, some people in Russia as well, that Putin is telling the Poles and the Romanians and the Hungarians, well, look, Ukraine is going down. Why not take...
Yes. Stormcrow's right. He's like, say it for me, Vladimir. Yes, he's like, Der Karma in town. Whoa, oh. Don't turn around. Oh. Shisha, the Karma in town. Oh. That's actually funny because the band who wrote that after the fire, they had a really rough time after they wrote that song. It really fucked them up because people only wanted to hear that song, and I guess they hated playing it. And it caused the band to break up from what I read. So, You know, they had their one hit in 1981. So
Back those historic territories that you want, that were once yours. The people there, most of them or many of them, would actually be delighted to be returned to your control. And, let's partition Ukraine in effect between us. And it's, as I said, you can just about see that this is essentially what Putin is saying. But I have to say that this is not how I personally read these words. Putin spoke, as I said, about the long history of Russian-Ukrainian.
Tabby, time out. Okay. All right, let's sing this. How would this go? You and I in a sex toy shop bought a bunch of baldos with the super chats we got. We stretched them free at the break of dawn. Till one by one they were gone. How would the rest of that go? Back on YouTube, somewhere in the software, it flashed a message, degenerate out there. All lubed up in, sliding by as 99. Worn out baldos go by. That's actually, I don't know. That's all I got. That's all you get tonight, guys. That's my extent of my lyrical genius tonight. So. So let's try that. Patty says the German version is better. I don't know how to say that non-German. Amateur Iconoclast says, why would they want their their territory back? It's irredentism. It's Polish soil. It was traditionally Polish soil. I mean, it's Lvov. Lvov is not a Ukrainian spelling. Like, that's not a traditional Ukrainian name. I mean, it used to be called Lemberg when the Austro-Hungarian Empire had it. That's a traditionally Polish area. And yes, Bandera and his buddies ethnically cleansed all the Poles. But it's the same thing for like Ruthenia down there, the part of Hungary that's down there, the Carpathian Mountains. Yeah, they all want their ancestral lands back. I mean, irredentism is a common thing everywhere. You know, anywhere you have a group of people who's, I mean, that's been the name of the game for most grievances in Europe going back thousands of years. I mean, a great example is Alsace and Lorraine. The Germans or the French, I mean, they've kind of settled that since World War II. But, for a long time, those are the flashpoints. That's where civilizations and groups collided. So it's the same thing when you have, that's history of Europe is ethnic tension. So that's what I'd say there. Nico says it's getting clipped. I'm sure. If you can clip it and get the dead space out of there, I'm sure it's better. Unhung Hero for $2 says, I'm gonna come. Well, don't come. Shrag Nasher says it's hard for us Americans to understand ancestral lands. No, I mean a little bit, but I don't think it's too hard for us to do it. Patty says Bandera gets a bad rap. He was a nationalist fighting Jewish terrorism. Churchill was a monster. And you know what? You might have that view, and that may be the right view ultimately. The biggest problem for the Ukrainians and the pro-Ukrainian side is they never are willing to admit, oh my God, we have a lot of bad guys and not nice history. They run around screaming about Russia being Nazis. They literally have Nazis on their side, and they won't even acknowledge it, and that's part of their problem. They won't acknowledge that things are not perfect. Ukraine is without stain. Ukraine is always victorious, but they're not. And if they weren't, I'm betting a lot of people would actually, Ukraine would have more support if its supporters weren't so fucking obnoxious. I truly think that's their problem. I truly think that's the problem of those people. Stormcrow says West Virginia is rightfully Virginian clay. That's actually a good example. Every once in a while, like you have like old state disputes, like Ohio and Michigan had a dispute over the Toledo Strip. That's kind of there, but I mean, nobody cares anymore. But that's actually a good example of it. Scam says Nick's house is rightfully Jamaican clay. Oh no, yeah. I respect Azov. They have the right to their homeland. Yeah, sure. So let's keep. That's a flattering pause picture.
2014 crisis. And indeed, one could even go further, the 2022 crisis. And the point Putin made, and by the way, it's a point I have myself made in the past, before all of these multiple crises began. The point Putin made was that the only true guarantor of Ukraine's territorial integrity prior to the 2014 crisis was Russia. Ukraine was in possession of huge territories that were historically Russian. And if Ukraine got drawn into a conflict with Russia, then at that point, obviously, Russia would no longer guarantee Ukraine's territorial integrity. And with the Russians no longer guaranteeing Ukraine's territorial integrity, that could potentially open the way in time for states to the west of Ukraine.
Oh shit, this
as
is
well,
Academy colors.
Poland,
I gotta figure
Hungary,
out what
and
their paint
Romania to
codes
reclaim
are.
from Ukraine their historic territories. And he said that if the Ukrainians chose to go down that road, well, that was their decision. And in that case, if they want it that way, so be it. History will put everything in its place.
Okay.
The outcome might be exactly the one that people are talking about,
B14.
that the Poles, the Romanians, and the Hungarians might decide at that point that this is the moment when they need to redress their historical grievances and reclaim what was once theirs. Note, however,
Rightful clay.
that Putin is careful to remind the Poles that in return for the loss of their eastern territories, they acquired much richer territories to the west, which before World War II were German. Not just Danzig and
All
the
Prussia.
corridor, but of course places like Breslau and Stettin and places like that, which,
Yep.
well, to say it straightforwardly, in 1939 were German.
1939.
And again, Putin is
Oh.
not giving out warnings.
That's
here,
interesting.
but he's basically telling the public.
This bad boy was cut out on his own and just sitting there. I didn't cut him out. Interesting.
Or so it seems to me. Look, if you decide to go down this path,
This bad
it's up
boy
to you. I'm not
was
recommending
cut out on his
anything.
own.
It's nothing to do with me. We have no interests in Western Ukraine at all. We will hold on to what is ours, the Russian lands that have always been Russian, possibly the central Ukrainian lands, Kiev, Zhytomyr, Chernihiv, all those, about which, by the way, he had almost nothing to say. In fact, he had very little, he had nothing to say. But if you want to go into Western Ukraine, it's up to you. Quite a lot of the people there would probably be happy to see you come. But do remember that in that case, you might potentially
really
be reopening that case. They'd be happy to see you in Ukraine. It's up to you. Quite a lot of the people there
They'd be happy to see him come. Oh yeah. Ooh.
would probably be happy to see you come.
Ooh yeah.
But do remember that in that case, you might potentially be reopening the question of your Western borders, of your Western territories, which were once German. You lost territory as a result of Stalin's actions, but you gained other more valuable territory as a result of his actions also. What Stalin took, he also gave back. So that's, I think, what Putin was saying. Now, in making these observations, it's worth pointing out that, of course, from a Russian point of view, there might actually be an incentive for this to happen. I discussed in my recent programs how there's been, over the last couple of weeks and months, a steady hardening of the Russian position, how the Russians are now talking about Ukraine needing to capitulate completely to Russia's demands, that Russia is seeking, in effect, total victory in Ukraine. We've had statements to this effect from Volodin, the Speaker of the Duma, from Dmitry Polyansky,
The Duma is the
Russia's
Russian
deputy
parliament, if you're not aware.
ambassador
For those
of
of
the
you in
United
Rio
Nations. We've had hints to this effect from Lavrov and Shoigu, and hints to this effect from Putin himself. And I've also discussed in recent programs reports of the kind of ideas that have been circling within the Duma about the kind of very harsh terms that might be imposed upon Ukraine. But I've also floated what might happen on the part of the West, how the West might react to this. It's not impossible that, faced with a situation of this kind, a Ukrainian government in exile might be set up in some Western country, or perhaps more plausibly, that whatever political entity established itself in Lvov, in Western Ukraine, declared itself to be and was recognized by Western governments as the legal and legitimate government of the entirety of Ukraine within its 1991 borders, including Donbass and Crimea.
It's the rightful heirs to the
And I
Zelensky
said that
Coke
this would be
empire.
a difficult situation for the Russians. It would mean that the Russians have their own Taiwan problem in Lvov. It would mean that relations between Russia and the European states, which recognize this government, might find themselves in a permanent deep freeze with little way forward to thaw it.
Cement leaked a little.
Now, I also said,
it's
and
too
I
thin. I need to get
also
better
believe, by the
cement.
way, that if this is the price the Russians must pay for a resolution of the Ukrainian problem, they probably
come all
would
over them.
pay it. It would make sense for them to pay it. Given
Let's see. Orders
the
from Amazon.
bitter
delivered here.
feelings Putin expressed, one can see why he might be prepared to pay it personally. But the Russians might understandably decide, that the reality is that the relationship with the West over the last 30 years has been so disastrously unsuccessful. And Russia's opportunities now in the East and in the global South are working so much better than expected, that it would actually be better for the Russians to close the doors, to see the doors close in the West, so that they can focus in peace on their own development and work with their relations with the nations of the East and of the global South. But if, on the other hand, the Russians were to decide that having a Taiwan problem on their western border, which created problems for them and for with the West indefinitely, might, in the long run, become an obstacle, then, of course, hiving off some of the European states, Poland, Romania, Hungary, making them, in effect, accomplices, if you like, or at least allies of Russia in terms of the division of Ukraine, well, that might also work to their advantage. Because, of course, in that case, though the governments of these three countries, Poland, Hungary, and Romania, would never recognize this exile government.
Because they want their land.
I was talking about, and they would never recognize either, or at least they would never tolerate, obviously, the establishment of such a government in Lvov, which at that point would be Polish territory. In fact, this arrangement would split the West. Now, I'm not sure,
It would log
and I have to say
split
this
the
again, that
West.
Putin is thinking that far ahead. I don't really get the sense of this from these words. We will only finally know, perhaps decades in the future, when the archives are published and the memoirs of those who participated are written and published as well, and when there's been proper academic investigation and historical discussion.
Well, this is why I guess
These
the
are
army's hiring.
intriguing
Yeah.
words of Putin's, but I think that, as I said, they are being perhaps overinterpreted and overanalyzed at the moment. And at least for the time being, we need to wait and see how things turn out
How are
before
these
rushing
going?
to any conclusions about partitions of Ukraine or of anything like that. In some ways, in my opinion, a more interesting interview, an even more interesting interview than Putin's speech, is the one given by Sergei Lavrov, in which he also
Wait.
talks about the situation with respect
This
to
goes
Ukraine.
in.
In fact, the excerpts of his interview, which I have seen, are exclusively
Like
about
this?
this topic. And it's interesting to see, for example, what he has to say about Richard Haass and the team from the Council for Foreign Relations. And he says, this
Richard
is Lavrov
Haas.
now, that
Nobody likes
he
that
met with
NASCAR
Richard
team
Haass
anymore. I can
and
say that
people
much.
from the Council
Dude,
for Foreign Relations when he was at the
Okay,
United
wait.
Nations in April. Lavrov says that it was actually he who contacted Richard Haass and his team
Wait, did I
to
fuck
come
this
to
up?
speak with him, and that this is an
No.
absolutely standard thing that he always does. He, Lavrov, always does when he visits the United Nations, that he likes to speak to political scientists in the United States, and that he had this discussion with with Richard Haass and the others there at the United Nations,
Hold on, I gotta fix
and
this.
was then
Give me a second.
incredulous to
We're gonna
discover
take a look at this here.
a few weeks and months later, and since then, that he was supposed to have been participating in the setting up of a back channel between himself,
the
that's
back
to
is
say,
to the
Lavrov,
back
and the
channels.
Russian Foreign
Oh,
Ministry,
yeah.
and Richard Haass and the other people from the Council for Foreign Relations, and that this was all being done supposedly with a green light from the Biden administration. And Lavrov said that as far as he was concerned, nothing like that has happened. There was an exchange of views, but no attempt to set up any kind of back channel or to begin talks or even pre-talks about an eventual settlement of the conflict in Ukraine. And Lavrov went on to say over the course of this interview that the Russians had
So
analyzed all of these statements, all of these commentaries that had appeared in various places about the setting up of this
okay.
back
So
channel. And
all right.
since they knew that there
I
was
got
no
the first piece
real
in. Now the
back
the parts
channel
on
in
top.
existence,
I'm getting a
they
little confused about
concluded
where they
that
go.
these stories were being circulated by the United States, basically in order to put pressure on the Ukrainians, in order to get the Ukrainians to moderate their position, to make the Ukrainians think that
Yes.
it was in fact
Yes.
the case
I
that the United States was looking for some kind of way
yes.
out
I hate it
of the
too, but I don't
conflict
think I did it wrong. I
and
didn't
might
glue it in
start
backwards. It's in the right way.
negotiations of its own if the Ukrainians themselves didn't do so. Well, that's
I
theory, I suppose.
It's like it
But
makes
anyway,
me feel like I glued these out of order,
that
but I
led
don't.
Lavrov to say something further.
Because here's what
which
I've got.
is
I've
that
got.
the
All right, hold on.
Russians are aware of all of these discussions about a freeze of the conflict, about
Yes, you had to canopy last. Charge. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go, motherfuckers. All right. So we got this bed. So here's the parts. There. Okay. That's the part we're doing there. B-14 goes in first. It's on the bottom. Brimstone. Hey, mother brother. So I did B-14. B-14 has been glued. B-14 is in. Okay. It's now this white piece of junk. And the other side of it, so I've got these two pieces. I have to figure out how they go in, and I'm getting my ass kicked by this right now. Where's the router go? Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out here. It should mirror the intake. I know it should mirror this, probably, is what I'm looking at. It should mirror that, because that's the... this is the front view. I'm going as well as the build program went, yeah. That's not it. mean, I think it's got to be this, but it doesn't. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Don't fuck up the ejection seat. Well, I need to buy a child immigrant. There's plenty at the bus station. Jesus. Oh, some of you guys are super spicy. All right. We're going to cheat. We're going to cheat. Let's see here. Let's see. YouTube, your channel. All right. F-35 model. Unboxing a beautiful Lightning 2 kit. Okay, not the Italiari one. Academy. Ooh, 172nd Jet Fighter. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Well, this skipped ahead. Let's see you here. All right, hold on. Oh, how did he do that? How did? Oh. That beautiful bean footage right there. Okay, that's a little different than what I got here, but I think I understand that a bit. Actually, I need to rewind that a hair. How the hell did they do that again? Let me rewind this a little bit more. Okay, so it's like he's saying this goes in like right here on the jet intake. And I'm getting that part. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. Yes, I got it. Okay. God, that is a little bit of an obnoxious piece. Okay, well, let's get back to where we were. I should have streamed this on my new channel. It was not going to let me. I'm all thumb. That guy's all thumbs, yes. Yeah. I was trying to do it. I was having problems setting it up. So that was the issue. StreamYard was fighting me, but I wanted to do it tonight anyway. So that's why we didn't do it tonight on the new channel. The rest of this will be on the new channel, though. The future parts of this series will be on the new channel. So don't you worry your pretty heads. I promise. Daddy will make it up to you. The new channel is going to be... hold on, guys. I got to put this in first before I forget how I was going to do this. Okay. Okay, we got it in. The new channel is going to be a channel called Sean's Unsexy Modeling. I thought it'd be funny to call it that, so that's what I'm going to call it. And I'll bring it up for you guys to look. This is the channel right here. This is my channel. So this is going to be the channel. If you want to look at it, that will be it. Hold on here. Let me bring it up in a way you guys can actually view the channel. Oh, no people on Discord are texting me. That's not good. Oh, no, nobody's texting me there. Good. So, hold on. DELING. So yeah, here is so this is my channel for now. So link it, sub to it. Hold on, I'll put a banner up. There we go. That is the ticker, and yeah, I'll give you guys the address. All right. Hold on here. So yeah, well, here we go. I found the address. Hold on, guys. It took me a second because I'm a boomer. There's the boomer segment. There you go. So that's what I did there. Hold on here. Gotta relog in. I was trying to get you guys where you could see it without me having all that crap on there. So you guys should be fine. Oh, I got 40 subs there. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will set, like I said, I will set up part 2 of this on there. That's not going to be a problem. So hopefully, as long as there will be a part 2. So, all right. Hold on. Where is this going? So, I don't know if Nick's streaming tonight. If he is and we're still going, certainly we might watch him. But for right now, I am focused on trying to get this fucker going. There we go. All right. Oh, there we go. I got them fixed. We are all fixed. These pieces now work. So, those sexy forearms, yeah, glued together. It's very, yeah, well, I'm not brown. I just have that is just a lot of black hair. Makes me look tan. So, that is what's going on there. Once I can scream at YouTube, this is racial discrimination, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. So, thank you guys for subbing. I appreciate it. So, where is... Oh, we'll get back to... I should stream this on the new channel. Yeah. Sounds like a Merit Mud Cope. Well, no, I have Italian. I have Sicilian in me. So, yeah. The Moors were... Hold on one second. So that is shit, what was I gonna say? Fuck. Yeah, so I got some Moors running around in the wood pile. There were some Moors hopping around the wood pile. So I'm a little black, undoubtedly, if I have Sicilian ancestry, but most of that got bred out a long time ago. No longer there. I'm not, haven't taken the 23andMe yet, though. So maybe I'm also like 2% Ashkenazi or something. That seems to be the case for most people. Ag says, okay, curious question. If a college fan base starts one-star bombing your business because your kid transferred, who do you sue? I think you could go after the people doing it because, I mean, if there was an organized activity, sure, but you could at least go after those people who are intentionally bombing you. They're making statements meant to hurt your business. That's a shame. Says, you mean the moops? Yes, the moops. Harbor Warble says, so I'm part eggplant. Yes, if you were not aware, the Moors and the Numidians and the Berbers, whatever you like to call them, Tariq and his boys, when they were done taking over Spain, then went north in the Mediterranean and went to Sicily and partway up the Italian peninsula. So if you have Italian ancestry from southern Italy, you have that in you very likely. That's why the Sicilians are a little darker. They were going to be a little darker anyway than the, Austrian and Germanic Italians in the north. I almost said Italians. And they're not Italians because Rome is not the capital of Italy. It's Italy. But they have a very dark complexion because, yeah. So, yes, it's the moops. Yes, it's totally the moops. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Amateur iconoclast is the Goths. Yeah, well, in the northern Italy, but also interesting enough, it was the Visigoths in Spain who were defeated by the Moors. So, but yes, Lefty, yes, yes. So yes, Harbor Warble, yes, you are part Moulignon. You're part Mouli, maybe. So, if you guys don't know what a Moulignon is, go talk to your mother. I'm sure she'll fill you in. Oh wow, this gets straight into the cock. Damn. We go from putting in the underside to straight into putting decals in there, which I'm gonna have to paint that fucker, and I'm not ready to set that up yet. We'll have to do a painting stream because I have my hood and everything set up. I don't have to move the printer. But like, look, we're already like bam right into the money shot of this thing. And if I try to go ahead to glue other things together, I mean, there's not a whole lot for me that I can play with at this point. I think I need this to dry out a hair. I'm also gonna have to do some color swatching here because these are all in Academy's colors and they don't. I'm gonna have to actually go online and look because they do. They do. Umbral, they do. Vallejo, they do Revell, and they do Academy paints, and they do Tester and GSI, but they don't have Tamiya on there, and that's pretty much what I got right now. And even the Vallejos I do have, I'm gonna have to do some looking. Yeah, 69 watchers, yes. Yes, 400 years of Ottoman rape. Well, that's why the Balkans are the Balkans. 400 years of Ottoman rape. Scam likely says Tariq Nassid. No, really, the Gibraltar means Tariq's rock. The man who basically the Moors went on a reconnaissance, like a reconnaissance of force into Spain and ran into the Visigoths and beat the shit out of them and were able to conquer the land. But yeah, that's why Gibraltar is called what it is. It's the rock Tariq landed on. That's where he landed. Celeste says that's the worst bomb I've ever seen. I'm sorry. You need some input from you in the Pew Pew channel. Okay, I'll talk to you. So I'm about to stop because I think this is where I got to stop for now because I'm going to have to start painting and I'm not ready to paint right now. So that is how far we got, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. 4. PY23 says, the dexterity put him on with those sausage fingers. You surprised what these fingers can do. I'll tell you that much. Gibraltar is sick. Yeah. Amateur clutches the Korean model company, leaves out the Japanese paint company. Yes, shocker, yes. If you guys weren't aware, you could say that because this is the warning notice and it's in Korean at the top. And then partway down at the bottom, it's in Japanese, but that's like the last thing. It goes to Korean, English, German, French, and then Japanese. So yes, I did see the Yemeni Top Gun commercial with their single F-5. But you know what? I mean, to be fair, we haven't had a good track record of actually winning wars lately, so they might be onto something. And also, the moment they put a freaking cruise missile through the side of the Carney or something, I'm sure the Navy's not going to be acting all swashbuckly. So that's my only thought there. The U.S. is talking a lot of shit, but it's how soon till they're not, and I think that it would be fairly quick at this rate. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. That's all as far as we got. I'm going to fix the camera and rework on that too as well. But we'll have these going up on the new channel, and I'll make sure to provide links and stuff like that in locals. But I'll also put links in the descriptions going forward. Scragnasher says, I liked Army Painter. Yeah, they're not bad. It's just I had an opportunity to get some stuff cheap, so it was on sale. Scragnasher says it's not a Chinese model. No, Trumpeter is the big Chinese one. So Trumpeter is the big Chinese model maker. So, yeah. Stormcrow says, I love how all Asians hate each other. Yes. Stop Asian hate. No, but not between ourselves. Yeah. Can I text Nick and tell him to wake up to do the show? Yeah, I don't know if Nick's doing a show right now. Let's see if it's even set up. Ooh, I don't see anything set up on main page for YouTube. So, uh-oh. So, all right, guys, that is it for tonight. We will do tomorrow on Yes, the pattern's very full. The gluing pattern's full. Lars says, I'm so autistic when I was a kid. I built a model of the shuttle launch pad, not the shuttle, just the pad. Nice. So that's interesting. Mindset is doing a show. Oh, okay. Well, click on that. But I'm all set, guys. I will see you tomorrow. We will do the normal show at the normal time, 9:30. And we'll get to it. So have a great night, everybody. Bye.